Hello and welcome to the Craft Beer Corner. For today's beer review, we're jumping into another fun one today. Today is another new beer from another brewer that's new to me. This is a flavored porter by Humble Abode Brewing Company. They're based in Spokane, Washington. This specific beer is called Peanut Butter Porter, and it is, of course, a porter with just specifies natural flavor. So I don't know if they use a combination of peanuts and peanut butter, one or the other, or both. But nonetheless, sounds awesome. In terms of label art, really gets you in the mood. Got a nice peanut, giving the A-OK, serving out the porter. Kind of disturbing he's serving himself for us to enjoy, but looks cool. I like the label art. First time having a beer from this brewer. I gotta be honest, I drink a lot of beers that have peanut and peanut butter in them. It's a tough ingredient to do. If it's done well, it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love peanuts and peanut butter. Eat them both frequently. And one of the best beers I ever had, for sure the best peanut beer I ever had, a couple of years ago, one of the first reviews I did was Anapi Brewery's PB Hobo. And that, to this day, is the bar by which I judge all other peanut and peanut beers. So I've got high hopes for this one. Let's get it cracked gently. All right. We'll get this poured right in the old porter glass. All right. Nice dark brown. Plenty of carbonation activity, so it's going to form a decent head. Porters are kind of all over the board. We'll see how long that one actually sticks around. But yeah, visually, it is very dark brown. It is not quite pitch black, so it looks exactly like I expect to see from a porter. In terms of head, this one, yeah, formed a really nice creamy head. That actually looks stout type creamy head. Very thick, very luscious. I can tell you the aroma is quite pungent. A foot and a half away from that glass, peanut and peanut butter essence is just jumping out of it. So let's get over it for a proper sniff. Oh man, wow. That smells so much like roasted peanuts and peanut butter, but it distinctly, you can smell that porter malt bill underneath. So it smells really well balanced, just aroma-wise. I'm getting all of that really rich roasty malt pairing with the roasted peanuts and the peanut butter. It smells absolutely amazing. It smells exactly like I hoped. So without further ado, let's just jump in and see what this one's about. Oh, oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, this is really, really good. So, I've had high hopes for a couple of years now that I would have another peanut or peanut butter beer that was of the same echelon that I hold in Anapi Brewing's PB Hobo, and I found it. Took me a couple of years, but yeah, this is taking me right back to the same reaction I had when I had that beer a couple of years ago. It's for the same reasons. It's the intensity with which the peanut and peanut butter comes through in the beer, and it just is in your face. On top of that, it's married to this really, really excellent, excellent quality rich roasty malt bill. Now, for my money, peanut butter, roasted peanuts, great brewing ingredient to put in a dark roasty beer, like a stout or a porter, because naturally they have this very rich roasty edge to the malt bill, to the flavor profile, and it just pairs extremely well with the natural inherent traits of roasted peanuts. So yeah, when you get them in tandem and they're just balanced just so, it is absolutely delicious. So what I'm getting in this beer is a massive punch of peanut butter. It does taste like very roasted peanut forward. Maybe more akin to, say, like a natural peanut butter than, say, like a Peter Pan or Skippy that has sugar mixed into it. It's not sweet. It's very roasty, very rich, but the roasted peanut flavor is very dominant. That said, it really is in equal balance with this malt bill. The malts are very clearly also coming through, and it's very rich and roasty. It's got some more subtler, getting near on some of those coffee kind of flavor profiles coming into the back. It's a very deeply roasted malt bill here. And there was a little bit of that kind of cacao that comes through as well. So really rich, really roasty, pairs absolutely beautifully with the peanut, and they nailed it. For my money, they nailed it. This is exactly what I hope every peanut or peanut butter beer that I try will be like. It's not easy to do. It is very hard to get the balance just right, and they succeeded. And then in a porter form, to have a really excellent porter malt bill behind it, that's just the extra treat. Because porters, sometimes they can have some kind of funky, almost prune-like flavors that really, it is what it is. They do often have a lot of fruity accents to them, but sometimes they get a little bit funky. This one's not. This one's geared much more towards the really earthy, rich, roasty edge, and it just goes so well with this beer. So let's jump back in. We're going to think about body and mouthfeel, let this flavor profile intensify, and I'll pick apart this finish. Absolutely delicious. Body on this one is a solid medium. It's got a good bit of heft to it. Feels right to me for the style in the ABV range. Mouthfeel, exactly as expected. There's a little bit of resistance, but it's not over the top. You can feel the effervescence. It is obviously a pretty highly active in terms of carbonation beer style. And when you agitate around the palate, this one does get quite creamy. So body and mouthfeel are exactly on point as well, aside from this amazing flavor profile. On second sip, yeah, everything I got on first sip just intensified again. It's re-coating the palate because it wasn't even gone. And we'll get to the finish, but yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely massive. Roasty peanut, delicious roasty malt, and it's just paired perfectly. Now, that being said, it's got a very, very long finish. This is significantly longer than your average porter finish, and it really comes down just to the intensity of flavor from the peanut and the malt bill. It's very, very long. Nice and wet and round to the end, as you would expect from a porter. There's no suggestion of dryness at all on the palate, but it's just really the impressive length of the finish, how long it keeps going. The finish is so long that the balance of flavors that you're getting all the way to the end does gear significantly more towards the peanuts. But for like the first 5-10 active seconds where you're tasting everything together before the decay, it's beautifully balanced. Not to say it's not beautifully balanced. I think it's perfectly balanced for my money. But just on the end, you'll lose the malt. It gets lost, and it's just that intensity of the peanut. I gotta say, I think legitimately the finish on each sip of this takes in excess of a minute. I mean, it's really impressive how long it lasts. And for this beer to taste as good as it is, that is just an extra treat because you get way more mileage out of each sip, and it's absolutely delicious. I'm going to take my time, sip on this one, come up with my scores. When we come back, we will get this beer ranked from top to bottom. All right, now that we've gotten to enjoy this beer, we're going to get it ranked. This is Humble Abode Brewing Company's Peanut Butter Porter, 6.3% ABV. They are based in Spokane, Washington. This, of course, is a porter with added peanuts or peanut butter. It could be a combination or just one or the other. Didn't specify, but what I do know, it was very peanut forward. So really, there's no need to go through this entire list because yet again, we have another beer that has swept it in all categories. This did earn a perfect 100 out of 100 score. I mean, I had a suspicion when I first got to sip in it, but after my initial reaction and I got to make my tasting notes and really pick apart all of these subsequent subcategories here, it's about as good as it gets. The porter itself, the base beer, was absolutely fantastic. Just as a porter, this would be top tier, no question about it. And then the way that they incorporated the peanut butter into this beer, it was just executed flawlessly. I would not change a thing about it. It is exactly as it should be in its current form. And if you're a fan of peanut butter beers or porters in general, this is one to absolutely try to find if you can get it. Well worth the money. Folks, that's today's review. As always, I do sincerely appreciate you tuning in today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to stay in the loop when our videos go live, just toggle on the notifications, click that bell icon. It is right next to the subscribe button. Until next time, keep it beer, keep it craft. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.